Motown, ready for World Series game number 1 here in 2006. Representing the National League, the St. Louis Cardinals, and representing the AL, the Detroit Tigers. Here is the young rookie right-hander, probably the American League Rookie of the Year, Justin Verlander, and his belly's got to be bouncing. He's got to be a little nervous out there tonight, making a World Series start in game 1.
A guy who fouled off and made outs on high fastballs, get it down in the zone.
That is Santiago to his left, one away.
For slow working pitches.
Duncan grounds it to the right side for Polanco. 2 out.
Take a look at the scouting report on
now that's a hook. And this rookie for the Cardinals is just a 5-game winner with a big ERA of over 5, getting the nod here in game 1.
That is the fewest games.
And a lot of room in right center field. 1-2 pitch. Granderson chops it to Pujols. And there's one down in the bottom of the first. State Farm covers the field. Better than that because of the experience here tonight. Getting the World Series as Monroe hits it fair. Down the third baseline into left. And Monroe will have a double with 1 out.
When Anthony Reyes started.
Deal 1. Little flare, shallow center field. Out is Belliard for the catch, 2 down. Runner at second, 2 out, 3 balls, 2 strikes. And a walk. A double, a walk. Here's a 2-1. Into right field. That's going to drop for a hit. The Tigers take the lead. Encarnacion makes an error. Throws towards second late. And it's 1-0 Tigers. He has runners at second and third, 2 out. A 1-0 pitch. A little flare. Caught by Belliard, and the inning is over. However, the Tigers are on top. RBI by Guillen. 2 left in the inning, and after 1 in game 1, 1-0 Tigers. Edmonds strikes out. 6 hits, 32 at bats during this postseason. No RBIs, and he hits one into left field. Back at the track, at the wall. It's a 1-1 game. Scott Rowland gets his first home run in the postseason since 2004 when he went deep off Roger Clemens in Game 7 of the NLCS.
High fastball right above the belt, middle of the plate. The inside fastball to tie it for the Cardinals.
Encarnacion flies one into shallow right for Polanco. 2 out for the Cardinals. Last time, not so good. 4-game sweep at the hands of the Red Sox. Belliard grounds out to short, but the Cardinals have tied it. A 1-out home run by Scott Rowland. That had to feel good for the Cardinal third baseman. 1-1 after 1.5. We had a 3-games-to-1 lead in the 1984 season. A 1-2 pitch. Casey strikes out. The first strikeout for Reyes.
To me, that's not the way to go. You establish the fastball, and then second time through the lineup, it's a different story.
There's Brandon Inge. He flies to right. 2 down. This is a big park. This is not as big a park as it once was. Semi-new fence and the old fence this season. Here's a little fly ball out behind second base. Eckstein waits for it, has it, and Ramon Santiago pops up. We go into the third inning. A look at downtown Detroit. Pleasant night so far weather-wise, and the score 1-1. Players on the roster for Jim Leyland are in the postseason for the first time. Molina flares one into right. That ball's going to fall for a hit. In front of Maglio Ordonez, and the Cardinals put their leadoff man on for the first time tonight
during the World Series.
And Taguchi on a hit and run throws his bat at the ball. It's a fair ball as Rodriguez picks it up, gets the out. And with Molina running like a bunt. The 2-2. Breaking ball got him, and what a pitch that was from Verlander.
The Cardinals are a good lineup. Pujols is the best hitter.
That is a fair ball down the right field line. It takes a funny bounce. Molina will score, and it's 2-1 St. Louis as the rookie Chris Duncan delivers with 2 out here in the 3rd inning. Pujols, runner at second, 2 out. And Albert Pujols hits one into deep right field. Back at the wall, it is gone. 2-run shot, Albert Pujols with first base open. The Tigers pitch to the MVP, and he makes Detroit pay. It's 4-1 St. Louis here in the 3rd inning. Third home run this postseason. Now Edmonds strikes out for the 2nd time tonight, but the Cardinals come up with 3, capped on the 2-run shot by Albert Pujols. 4-1, the Cardinals lead here in the middle of the 3rd inning of Game 1. Follow, and then Polanco here in the 3rd inning for the Tigers, and they're down 3. Anderson flies it in the air to left field, and back is Taguchi for out number 1. Just to go back to the 2-run home run with 2 out. Lost the first division series game at New York against the Yankees, and they have been rolling ever since. Right at the shortstop Eckstein, and that's out number 2.
And that's why they traded him. Your needs change.
Polanco lines one to Belliard, and we go into the 4th inning of game number 1. The Cardinals out in front of the Tigers, 4-1. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and a breaking ball strikes out Roland. That's 5 strikeouts for Verlander, and let's check in for the first time tonight with Chris Myers. He watched Tony La Russa even more carefully and wanted to give it another shot. That misses down and in, and on 4 pitches, Encarnacion gets the first walk. The 2-2. 2 out. Strikeout number 6. 0-2 pitch. 7 strikeouts for Verlander, and the rookie struck out the side. Bottom of the 4th inning, 4-1 St. Louis. It's World Series game number 1, and the heart of the order for the Tigers down by 3. Ordonez goes after the first pitch, flies it into center for Jim Edmonds. 1 pitch, 1 out. Tony La Russa gave us a little visit to score Monroe. Waits for another and strikes out. You want to call it swinging or looking, you can take your pick, and that's strikeout number 2. Ivan Rodriguez hit a soft line drive for an out with 2nd and 3rd, 2 out in the 1st inning. He gets this one off the end of the bat into right center field, Encarnacion. And all of a sudden you look at the numbers, and Reyes has outpitched Verlander. 4-1 Cardinals after 4. Back after this from your local Fox station. He hit a tapper. Thrown out by Rodriguez his first time. Now he is 0 for 2. Our game summary is brought to you by is now just 8 for 43 this postseason. He is 8 for 44. 2 down.
Well, Joe, during the National League Championship Series,
Duncan strikes out, and that's 8 strikeouts for Verlander. 7, 8, 9 hitters coming up for the Tigers as they trail St. Louis by 3. Going through the clubhouse, changing the culture with the Tigers. Casey is jammed and flies it into right center field for Edmonds. 1 out, and here is Tiger manager Jim Leyland. It's because his range is so good. He gets to so many balls, he makes more errors at changeup, strikes out Inge, and that's the 3rd strikeout for Anthony Reyes. 2 out here in the 5th.
both of those are unusual in today's age.
To pitch, another strikeout, back-to-back strikeouts for Anthony Reyes. 4 on the night, 13 straight retired. Heart of the order coming up for the Cardinals, up 3. He would have started this series with the left-hander on the mound. Instead, it's Verlander, and the rookie right-hander has issued his second walk of the night. And a 4-1 St. Louis lead. And the throw gets away from Guillen. Rattles around by the tarp, and Albert Pujols is going to end up on third base. So now Verlander compounds his problems by throwing wildly over to first. It'll be an error.
But he was running better then.
Edmonds with a base hit into right field, and it's 5-1 St. Louis here in the 6th. That pitch was up from Verlander, and Edmonds jumped on it. He likes the ball up. A walk, an error, and a run on a base hit by Edmonds. Roland hits it in the air to right, tailing away from Ordonez. That ball is a fair ball, and it is a double as it bounces out of play. Edmonds will have to hold at third, and the Cardinals have a chance to blow this thing wide open. St. Louis up 5-1 here in the 6th inning. And there are the numbers for the regular season from Jason Grilli. Has homered and doubled. The 2-2 pitch to the third baseman. Inge has it come up on him. Throw home wild. In to score is Edmonds, and they're going to say that Roland was obstructed by Inge. I believe Roland ran into Inge. The third base umpire was pointing, and Jim Leland's going to go get an explanation from Mike Winters.
I'll tell you, it's unusual to send the runner with second and third going on contact with nobody out. Inge, the ball off of Inge. Now he wanders in the third base area, and that's where Scott Rowland became involved. And home plate umpire called it immediately. Randy Marsh said Rowland is allowed home plate because Inge interfered with Scott rounding third. So Edmonds scores on the bad throw by Inge. An accurate call by the home plate umpire, Randy Marsh.
Now Belliard chops it back to Grilli. Encarnacion holds it second, 1 out. Third base umpire Mike Winters also was on top of it, pointing. Cardinals leading by 6 in the 6th. And Molina flies one into center for Granderson. Out number 2. And the number 9 hitter, so Taguchi will walk to the plate. Brunell remains the quarterback for the Redskins. With 2 out, Taguchi pops it up. Right in front of home plate for Ivan Rodriguez, and Pudge puts it away, but the Cardinals come up with 3. Fernando Rodney getting loose for the Tigers in their pen. 1-1 pitch, Granderson pops it up. Straight up on the infield, and Roland will try to find it and catch it. 1 out. The Chevy Silverado winning number.
As I said interference, I was wrong. It is obstruction.
Here's another pop-up. Off the bat of Monroe, and Pujols with the runner right there has it in foul ground, 2 out.
And to clarify this, obstruction is the act of a fielder who.
2 out, nobody on. 0-2 pitch in the bottom of the 6th. Hit on 1 hop to Eckstein. Anthony Reyes has turned in a gem to this point. We go to the 7th inning of game 1. Cardinals up by 6. Back after this from your local Fox station. Here's Fernando Rodney, who takes over. He gets 2 quick strikes on Eckstein, who's 0 for 3.
Tough travel schedule for Gonzo, too. He went back to Arizona. He's back to Arizona tomorrow and take the triplets to Disneyland.
Eckstein golfs one into shallow center, and Polanco and Santiago come together. It's Polanco with a play. Wilfredo Ledesma getting loose, and a good pitch from Rodney gets Duncan 2 out. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And a line drive into center field, well hit. Granderson back to grab it. A 1-2-3 first inning of work for Fernando Rodney since the first inning. A A little flare out behind first, and Pujols makes a circus catch, pirouetting out into shallow right field. And for Detroit, Chuck Hernandez spent 9 years with Tampa Bay. Here's a ground ball to the right side, and Belliard can't get to it. And the Tigers have their first base runner since the first. The Tigers were #1 in baseball. And a high fly ball into left field. Taguchi back at the track, at the wall for out number 2. Rodriguez just missed that pitch. Casey pops it up. Belliard waits for it. And the inning comes to a close. We have played 7 innings here in game 1. Anthony Reyes is dealing, and the Cardinals lead 7-1. 4th of the night, Wilfredo Ledesma, who is, as Jim Leland put it before the game, a work in progress, but a guy who has got a sensational. Have lost 3 straight World Series since, in '85, '87, and 2004. There's Edmonds with another hit, and again on a pitch that was up. An RBI single his last time up.
I mean, it affects the players. That's why most players don't agree with managers' decisions.
Roland pops it up on the infield for the shortstop, Santiago, 1 on, 1 out.
So if Tony La Russa doesn't play Scott Rowland in a game during the National League Championship Series.
His swing. Chops one to third for Inge. Throw to second for the out. 2 away.
Then you make a judgment if their 75% is better than somebody off the bench.
Little fly ball into right field, and that is well put by Tony La Russa, who is dealing with that day after day, especially down the stretch for the Cardinals. Bottom of the 8th inning. Tigers coming up, down by 6. Inge flies it into right, and Encarnacion back on the track, 1 away. When you retired 17 straight here tonight. 1 out, nobody on, and it's Timms pinch hitting, popping it up. Eckstein has it, 2 out.
In 1990,
noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, before a doubleheader day of football. Here's Granderson popping it up into left field. Reyes has gone 8. Might finish what he started here tonight in game 1. The rookie for the Cardinals has carried with him a 7-1 lead. Let's go to the 9th. You would imagine in the bottom of this 9th inning, he has been dominant.
When he was talking about Joel Zamaya and others in the bullpen.
Brandon Inge retires Molina.
Zamaya and the left-hander.
And is a rookie. That is off the leg of Todd Jones and will be a base hit. So Taguchi does not melt in pressure situations and has no problem getting the final 3 outs. Nafi Perez makes the play, safe at first. Great effort by Nafi Perez, 2 out. Here's Jamie Walker, and the Cardinals make a switch. Instead of Chris Duncan, Preston Wilson will get his first series at bat. Picked up by their rival, St. Louis Cardinals. That squirts away, and down to second base is Eckstein on a wild pitch.
They're not going to walk Pujols, but he'll be facing the left-hander, Walker.
Wilson strikes out, and that ends the inning. We go into the bottom of the 9th. For the Tigers as they trail by 6. Monroe, Polanco, and Ordonez. 7-1 St. Louis in game 1. With a guy who had fizzled down the stretch and was so-so, and that is a bomb into left field off the bat of Monroe to make it a 7-2 game. We'll see if that's the last pitch of the night for Anthony Reyes. Off go the fountains in center field, and it's a 5-run St. Louis lead. that will be all for Anthony Reyes, who does not get the complete game tonight. That means that Braden Looper has to get 3 outs. To the right side for Belliard. 1 away. After Anthony Reyes got into the dugout, a towering home run to make it 7-2 here in the ninth, and now a strikeout of Ordonez, 2 away. Verlander got that sweep started with a win, beating Carpenter. A bobble, and Roland throws late. That'll be his 3rd error of this postseason. Looper has the one he wants and is 1-2. Flied into center field, and that will end game 1 as Edmonds puts it away. And the Cardinals come in here behind their rookie Anthony Reyes and shock this big crowd and take game 1, a final of 7-2. 2 hours, 54-minute game, and Anthony Reyes and Braden Looper hold the Detroit Tigers down to 4 hits.